No. Sorry that took so long. I'm not getting any comments showing up. Um, Hang on. I don't know what's going on here. Had some technical difficulties there at the beginning. Anybody out there? Hello. I know I'm doing this on a Sunday. I might have to restart this. I don't know what's going on. If you guys are trying to talk, let me know. I've got. Mm, If anybody's out there? Oh, somebody's here. Man, somebody said something. OBGYN Kenobi. Hello. I like your name. That's pretty good. That's pretty clever. Surprised you didn't say hello there. I was looking at I know it's been so long. I was looking at the last stream and I had like my hair was all crazy, like my hair is all wild and like my beard was like getting down to my was getting like a spinach chin. Chop it all off. Well, for the two people that are here, what have you guys read any horror books yet? Have you done any Halloween festivities, horror movies? I wouldn't mind talking about something, something Halloween related. I'll probably do another October stream, but we're almost in the middle of the month here. So I found a new horror author named Bentley Little, and I've been reading his stuff. I don't know if you might be able to see it up on the shelf there, up that way. He's kind of like Stephen King, except doesn't ramble, like doesn't have um, diarrhea of the mouth like Stephen King does. So I've read only read one book by him, The Vanishing. I highly recommend it if you are into like Lovecraftian, like really, um, really weird, like Lovecraftian Videodrome. You've seen like Videodrome. It reminded me of Videodrome a lot. And I don't anybody who's watching this, it's if you like old horror movies, you'll know what Videodrome is. Um, I really enjoy all your audiobooks, dude. All your audio titles. Thank you. No problem. That's what I'm here for. Okay. All right. I have a cricket I have to kill downstairs. OBGYN Kenobi or anybody else who's here. Tell me Halloween stuff. Anything Halloween related or horror related. I got the skull. Got the skull up there. So skull. Anyway, I gotta go kill cricket. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. This hopefully it fills up a little bit. I know it's a Sunday night, but tomorrow's Columbus Day, so a lot of people shouldn't have to work tomorrow. So I'll be right back. It's fine. I don't know why we keep getting greater. We chirp. We chirp. Oh, you know. They don't keep coming back and yeah, you just not now because no problem. Yeah, it's fine. I filled up a little bit now. We got 6 people, so well, let's see. Did you read any of the zombies sword of titles from Star Wars? Like what was it? Death Troopers. Yeah, Death Troopers is great. I like that book. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like it. I haven't read Red Harvest. I know that's the prequel. I haven't been able to. I there was a hardback copy. Um, I was at Half Price Books when I was visiting my dad a couple months ago in Kansas City. I almost bought it, but they were like, God, they wanted like $40 for it or something, like 40, $50, and I was like, ooh, nah, I'll just buy it used paperback off of eBay. And I was tempted. I was very tempted because I know the hardbacks of that are pretty hard to find. But yeah, Death Troopers is great. OBGYN, Kenobi. I agree. Using talk to text as I messed up my hands. Oh man, that sucks. What happened? If you want to talk about it, you don't have to. You're the only guy talking, OBGYN. The only person talking to me right now. So I wish Star Wars did more horror. That's a missed opportunity. Like yeah. I'm all for it. I remember when I bought the Troopers, it wasn't long after it came out, and the guy, because the guy that used to run the bookstore that I used to buy my Star Wars books from, read all the Legends stuff, well, expanding universe stuff, back in the day, and he's like, I didn't like it. It's zombies and Star Wars. It's just stupid. And I'm like, eh, I'll give it a shot, and I liked it. I mean, I don't see. I can see why people wouldn't like it. It's kind of um like Dark Empire. Like I can see the logic. I can see why people don't like it. But to me, it's like it doesn't seem that far fetched to me. Both, but I was focusing on Death Troopers. Like I would feel like the Empire would experiment with weird stuff like that and like accidentally, because wasn't it like an Imperial thing? Like they were experimenting with a virus or something and it got loose. Like I could see the Empire doing that. That's not a stretch for me. Just like the Emperor cloning himself, like having clone bodies of himself is not a stretch. Like the Emperor would have backup plans. I never understood like the zombie thing. I can maybe see, maybe that would be a little bit of a stretch, but like definitely not the clone Emperor. Like that's something Palpatine would do. That just makes total sense to me. But I don't know. What do I know? Yeah. We're rare. We're the exception. OBGYN. Most people do not. Most people do not feel that way. I'm pretty sure Death Troopers is like, isn't that that's a pretty divisive one. Like that's like I've known that's when people love or they hate. There people are very divisive on that one. And same thing with Dark Empire. It's very divisive. People either love it or they hate it. Like I love it. Timothy Zahn obviously did not because he spent like a chunk of a book complaining about it, but I liked it. That would be right up Darth Sidious's alley. Yeah, like if we're talking about, I'm assuming you're talking about Death Troopers. Yeah, it's the Sith do that. They're like necromancers. Like they're the Sith are basically like necromancers. Some not some of them, not all of them, but that just it doesn't. Especially Knights of the Old Republic. Um, I mean, they kind of delve into that and that and some of the other EU stuff. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a stretch to me, since some Sith are basically just necromancers, and that's what you do. It's bringing back the dead. I mean, isn't that's what Dark Plagueis did? I mean, that's what Dark Plagueis. That was the whole like idea behind Dark Plagueis. He was trying to extend life, right, and or bring people back from the dead. So I just, it's not a stretch. And I mean, I think that was written after Death Troopers, right? So I guess you could say it's a retcon, but it doesn't seem like a stretch to me. Yeah, I think it'd be perfect for Palpatine to bring back the dead, especially to harm the Jedi. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with you. All right. And there's like seven people in here. Nobody else is talking. This is weird. Unless there's something wrong with the chat. I don't know. I got Red Harvest and I love that book. Yeah, I need to get it. I'd almost bought that hardback. If it had been priced better, I would have bought it. If it was just a little overpriced. That half price books was weird. Like half price books in general was weird. There's things that I got steals on, like stuff like there's books like I that are worth like hundreds of dollars that I got for like a dollar or two. And then there's other times there's books that are worth like 20 that I paid like that are like they charge, they have to put it at 20 or 50 or something. It's just weird. They're just weird on prices. It's just whoever's pricing stuff that day. It's like a thrift store, sort of. But I'll get it because I enjoyed Death Troopers, so I plan on reading it. Actually, that would be a good Halloween season read. Maybe I should try to get a. Maybe I should. Yeah, sorry, space out there. I'll try to get a copy of that because that would be a good read for Halloween. I didn't even think about that. Thank you, OBGYN, for bringing up Death Troopers and Harvest. Darth Sidious viewed everything as a pet. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Agree. Yeah. He just didn't. He played around with things. Like he's like, I could just see him like, or even not necessarily him, just somebody working for him, just sitting around in a lab, coming up with stuff like that. Like it totally is not a stretch at all for me. So I blasted the stream on the Discord. Unfortunately, I have work early in the morning and can't stay long. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, thanks for that. I know the Discord. I know I posted on there the other day, but I know I need to. I'm I've kind of let it like rot. I haven't hardly been on there. I know you guys have been on or off. I'll get back on there. I've just been, God, I have been crazy busy. Like I mean, I told you guys, I got moved into a house, and like the first month and a half of the house, the first month and a half I got here is basically just fixing things. Like I had to repaint every room in the house. I had to God, I had to do tons of stuff. I had to basically there was tons of like they had tons of the firewood. I had to throw out a bunch of firewood. I just had to do tons of stuff. I still have stuff to do, but light fixtures, I had to replace all the light fixtures because they were all falling apart. So anyway, I've been just crazy. Then the summer I was gone. I was visiting my dad, so I wasn't at my home base, so I just didn't. I was technically not living anywhere. I was just living with him for a while. But anyway, I won't bore you guys with that. But I appreciate it, Christopher. I appreciate it. I used to have a dollar bookstore. I don't remember. I've never seen one of those. Like a dollar store. Like dollar stores will have books, and they still do sometimes. Like, was it specifically a store that just sold books for $1? Because that would be awesome. Used bookstores are awesome. Like I just miss they're still around. Like I'm actually relatively fortunate because I have a pretty decent amount of used bookstores in my area. But like back in the day, man, God, there was a used. I mean, any older people on here, anybody older than like 30, will remember like in the 90s and like early 2000s, there was a used bookstore on like every corner, and it was awesome. I miss it. I miss. It's just not a viable like business practice anymore with Amazon and eBay and stuff and thrift books and all that. It's just very few of them can make it anymore. So I went to one today actually. I went to one today. Um and I got another copy of Magician for like $6, which was awesome. Like incredibly cheap for because that's like a $50 book. But that used to happen to me all the time. Just now there's just not that many of them left. Swear I got all my books at I got so many books for $1. Yeah. Okay, so it was every book was $1. Wow, that's awesome. God, that would have been like my dream as a kid. Man, that was my biggest issue because like that's one thing I do like about the modern era that I don't miss about the 90s and the early in the 2000s. Books were expensive. Like I remember, I mean, you were lucky enough. I didn't have a store like that. I would have killed for that. Or even like a store that sold books for like $4 or $5. I would have killed for that. Like pretty much every used bookstore I went by, or excuse me, most in the area I lived when I was a kid, it was all new. So it was all like cover price. So I would have killed for that. Man, that's awesome. I would have read so much more. I mean, I read tons as a kid, but I'm probably reading more now as an adult because books are just so much cheaper now. Used bookstore above where my mom got her nails done when I was a kid. How I got into Star Wars books. Rogue Squadron was the first set I got. Awesome. Yeah, gotta love it. Yeah, Star Wars kind of helped me get into reading. I mean, it wasn't my beginning of reading, but the Jedi Apprentice books. The Jedi Apprentice books got me into reading. So I guess would that be my first sci-fi? I guess. I guess that would be. I guess Jedi Apprentice would technically be my first sci-fi book. Technically, I think. So yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, Star Wars. I've heard that story a lot. A lot of people got into reading from Star Wars. I got all the new Jedi Order series and Legacy of the Force series, and all those books were $1. I was so blessed. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, I would have killed for that, man. So you got, I mean, you literally paid like 19, like, or you would have paid 20, basically like less than $30 for the whole NJO and Legacy. That's awesome. I thought I got mine cheap. I didn't pay much for mine because I bought most of mine right after the Canon wipe, so I got a lot of them dirt cheap. And then there was a guy in an antique store that had most of the NJO, and I think I paid like 2, $3 a piece. So you have me beat, man. Wow, yeah, you have me beat because I probably paid altogether probably 60, probably $60, give or take, for both of those altogether. So wow, you have me beat on the deals, and I'm a deal guy. I'm thrifty. So you have me beat. But yeah, it's like thrift stores. Like there's times I walked into a Goodwill, and that's how I got actually most of my fantasies from Goodwill. Like in some of the Star Wars is, but most of this fantasy, sorry, most of this fantasy that you're seeing on this side was from thrift stores. Like not the Dunes, but like the Shannara books the Shannara books. Sorry, down here, and you can't see them, but I have the Drift books and the Dragonlance books. Those were all from thrift stores. Those were all like a buck, like 50 cents. Um, the I don't know if you can kind of see it there, but the Pern, I got that at a thrift store. Like most of the stuff over here was from thrift stores. The Wheel of Time, I got almost that entire set up there at the very top there at the thrift store. So I want to look with fantasy. I don't know. For some reason, I find more. I still do. I still find more fantasy at thrift stores than I do sci-fi for some reason. I think sci-fi people hold on to their stuff more. I've noticed fantasy people don't as much. Fantasy people don't hang on to their stuff as much. That's changing, but anyway, the public library where I live, twice a year they have really good sales. I'm assuming you mean sales, and I get books for a quarter an hour. Yeah, yeah. Libraries are great. Libraries are awesome for books. I've gotten some of my Star Wars books. I got at libraries. Sorry, these I've gotten a lot of these at the library. Like my I Jedi hardcover, I got that for like a quarter. A couple other things. Yeah, that's something people pro tip or whatever, however you want to say it. Um, Library sales are great. Can be. They can be. They're hit or miss. I mean, it's like anything else. It's like a thrift store, or like it's hit or miss. But you can find some great deals, and yeah, it's even cheaper than thrift stores. It's like dirt cheap usually. Paperback's a quarter, hardback's $1. That's a public library. So yeah, that's usually how it is near me. The paperbacks are like 25 cents. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's as cheap as you're gonna get. That's what Goodwill and most thrift stores used to charge. I remember when Goodwill paperbacks were 25 cents. When I first started going to Goodwill like 10, 12, 13 years ago. Paperbacks were like 25 cents and hardbacks I think were a buck. I mean, I think it was literally that price. That's how cheap Goodwill used to be. That's how I got a lot of my books was Goodwill. And then they upped it. I remember they upped it to 50. I remember when they upped paperbacks to 50 and they upped hardbacks, I think to $2 or like a buck 50 or $2. And then after like I think after COVID, they price it all individually now. They don't do blanket pricing anything like that anymore for anything. I think at all really anymore. So there's times where like you walk in and there's paperbacks are like $6 and it just depends. Again, it's like whoever's pricing it that day. Because I've walked in and bought like a first edition Stephen King, like The Shining. It was like $3, and then there were other times where I walked in and like a paperback of like something like the Da Vinci Code is like $6. It just depends on who's pricing stuff that day. But yeah, OBGYN, you're pretty copacetic with me. That's how I mean I love thrifting for books. It's my weakness. I have to stop myself. Like there's times where I want to like today when I went to the used bookstore down the road for me. There was so much stuff I wanted to buy, but I'm like, no, I can't. And it was a little overpriced because it was paper. There was a couple paperbacks I wanted to buy, and they were a little much, but I could afford it. But I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna. I've already got so much stuff I need to read. There's just that's one good thing. That's one of one of the things about the modern world that I will commend it is books are dirt cheap, and I'm happy about it. So, anybody else wants to talk? We got all these people in here. We got like 7 people, and OBGYN's the only guy talking to me here. So feel free to chime in, anybody. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this is I mean OBGYN, I'm enjoying this conversation. Who was it? Oh yeah, OBGYN, you'll love this. I was at speaking of thrifting for books. Oh man, I was at a store I don't go to real often. It's called St. Vincent de Paul. It's a religious thrift store. It's like a Salvation Army basically. And they had had a giant. I mean, it was like a shipping on a pallet. They had just a giant box on a pallet filled with books, and it was like fill a bag. I think it was you had there was big giant paper bags, like fill a paper bag for like $5, and you can fill it with as many books as you can, and you could probably have filled like 20, 30 paperbacks and like you know 12 hardbacks or something. It was like so incredibly cheap, and I wanted to. God, I dug through it, and I got a few things, but I wanted to stand there for like I could have stood there all day. Like I had to turn myself away 'cause I'm like, I gotta get things done. I gotta go to the grocery store and I got errands to do. And I'm like, man, I wanted to just stand there for like 4 hours and just go through every single thing. But I couldn't, I didn't. 10 years ago, back when I had like didn't really have responsibilities as much. I could have just stood there all day and done that. I probably would have. Man, it's like that's like my kryptonite. Cheap books. Cheap media in general, like cheap video games, cheap books, cheap video games are almost impossible to come by, but cheap, books and stuff like that, man, it's my kryptonite. We had one of those in the town I grew up. Oh, you're talking about St. Vincent? We got one of our couches at St. Vincent. Oh, awesome, yeah. I bought a chair. I bought a this leather chair that was like I looked it up and it was like a $500 chair and they had it on there. They had it for like $10. And I still have it. It's in storage right now. I need to get it, but it's this awesome like leather computer chair, $10. So yeah, no, they have great stuff there. I like them better than Goodwill. Goodwill has been disappointing me. Their prices are just not that good anymore. Like I'll shop there, but like I'll still go in there and stuff, and you can still find deals. But I don't know, they're just not. They're my least favorite thrift store now. I would say. I would say like I like the religious ones, like St. Vincent, Salvation Army, like your local ones, those ones, and then like local one. I'd say local ones, and then the ones I just named, and then you know Goodwill. But any thrift store is good. You can usually find something. It's rare I walk out of a thrift store and don't buy anything. It's very rare. But you must be in the Midwest, Christopher, because that isn't that the mid. I think that's pretty much a Midwest thing. Pretty sure. Hey, SJ Photo. Yep. SJH Photo. How you doing? But that was Seattle. Okay, so they're on the West Coast. I guess they're nationwide. Okay. I I mean I didn't know. I thought maybe they were just a Midwestern thing, but obviously not. So okay, I guess they're nationwide. What are we talking about tonight? We were actually talking about thrifting books, like used books. Basically, just used bookstores, thrifting, like cheap books, where we find cheap books. That's basically what we were talking about. We were talking about. I was trying to talk about like Halloween related, horror related stuff since we're in the season. But we can change the subject. But anyway, um, I've had to scale back my book buying like a lot. I have too many books. I mean, I know you guys look at these and like these are filled. I have another. I got this whole thing over here, and then in this closet, both this is all filled with books. This entire like here. There's, I mean that's not hardly anything, but these boxes are total. There's boxes over here. Those are all filled with books, and this isn't even half. I have at least six big boxes like these filled with books. So I've got way too many freaking books. You can't tell. So I got too many books. I have to scale it back a lot. There's a place I go to a neat used bookstore. I just scale back. Yeah, I've just went nuts. Like these past few years, especially. Did you ever check out the tripods of books? No, I have not. I will. I will. Oh, don't worry. I've got so much stuff I need to read, man. I'm like, God, I might start donating some stuff. Like, I'm probably gonna start donating some things because I've got so much stuff. God, moving all this stuff too. Just this stuff alone, like the stuff you're looking at behind me and that one shelf over there, like that was a freaking pain, man. Not that I plan on moving again for the foreseeable future, but God, just a pain, man. Moving books is not fun. As much as I love, but that's the one thing. That's the one big asterisk with collecting books is when you have to move. When you have to move them, it sucks. It really sucks. How about Asimov? Did you check that out yet? I've read Asimov. I mean, unless you're, I don't know if you're specifically talking about something, but I've read Foundation. I've read the Foundation trilogy. And I that's it. I haven't read iRobot or any of the other things yet. Any of his other stuff. I just Foundation, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed the Foundation books, the Foundation trilogy, especially the first one. I really like Foundation, the original Foundation. Yeah, I'm never gonna do Truce of Bakura. Probably eventually, even, but somebody's already done it, so pretty sure there's an audiobook of it. I think YJK Audiobooks did it, so it's not. It's pretty low on my priority list. I'm trying to do ones that people haven't done yet. I just put out Jedi Trial, SJH Photo. Nobody had done that yet. That was one that somebody hadn't done yet. It never had a full unabridged audiobook until me. So I like Jedi Trial. I enjoy that book. I don't know. That's one of those weird books that a lot of people don't like that I like. We talked about Robot and Empire series and later Foundation books before. Yeah, we talked about it. YJK. It's he's on here. He's on YouTube. He's the other big Star Wars audiobook guy. Jedi Trial is neat. I'm a Patreon member. Oh, thank you. SJH Photo. I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure you popped up. I mean, you must have had a different. I don't know what your Patreon name is, but I appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. Every little bit helps. So, do you like Jedi Trial? You might be like the only other person on planet Earth that likes Jedi Trial. The only other SW audiobook guy I know is yeah, the Archivist, yeah, the Archivist. There's actually a handful of us now. Like it used to be, it was just for a while. It was just me and it was YJK and me. I think YJK was first, then me, then I had the Archivist, and then there's like at least five or six others now. There's a bunch of people doing this now. So, but YJK and me are like the OGs. We were he's technically the OG, and then I'm like number two. Midnight Trial is good. I like the couple of soldiers, boy and girl, that kind of fall in love, and the motherly woman who Anakin doesn't save. Yeah, I don't remember that second part. I need to reread it. But I liked it. I like Jedi Trial. I like that it actually showed non-clones. Like you actually got to see like actual Republic troops, like non-clone troops. That was cool. Um, you got Cornhorn's grandfather in there, tooling around with Anakin. It's a good book. I don't know. It's military SF. I think that turns a lot of people off because it's written by two guys that write military SF. So Star Wars, most people don't like military SF that in Star Wars books. So I don't know. I can see why people don't like it, but I like it. If you don't like military, like really, really hard military SF, you're not gonna like it. If you don't like Cornhorn or um Anakin, you're not gonna like it. I really don't like the clones. It's hard for me to get into them because they're just waiting to be turned on as basically organic robots. Yeah, yeah, I get that argument. I like the clones. I just liked how Jedi Trial it gave us a different side of the Clone War. Like it actually gave us just like regular Republic troops. You never I mean they think they existed before Jedi Trial, but like they're never mentioned. Like hardly at all is it ever mentioned pre pre Clone Wars what the Republic um well there's attack the Phantom Menace, but like in the EU and stuff, like getting into details of the non-clone Republic soldiers. It's very rarely mentioned. Black Fleet Crisis is military SF, and a lot of people like that. It's divisive. I've heard a lot of negative things about it. Not as much as Jedi Trial. Like Jedi Trial is mostly disliked. Like yeah, generally Black Fleet's more liked than Jedi Trial, definitely. But I've heard some pretty divisive opinions on that too. A lot of people don't like Black Fleet. I've heard both sides of that. But yeah, generally it's more liked. I was saying that is why I like Jedi Trial because it is non-clone to the main stars. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like that's kind of why I like it too. It's different. Like it's just like I kind of like to see like the another side of the Clone Wars instead of just clones just fighting robots, like which I like, but it gets old after a while. Maybe that's why I liked it because it felt kind of fresh. Because like I went into it just expecting like because on the cover it has a clone on the cover and like I'm just kind of expecting a generic like just another like a Clone Wars episode, and it was not like that at all. Like it was totally just like it was not what I was expecting. So it was a pleasant surprise for me. The only thing about Black Fleet Crisis I didn't like is Han being tortured. Oh yeah, now that fits with Empire though because he got tortured in Empire. I just finished dinner. I'm really tired. I did a bicycle race Saturday, marathon today. Drove over 500 miles too. I'm exhausted. Okay, well, hey, don't. If you need to get going, go ahead. I wasn't gonna probably make this real long. It's Sunday night, but I just kind of wanted to do a real quick check in with you guys. So I'll probably wrap it up here soon. I wish they bring back the K-wing fighters. Oh yeah, K-wings. Yeah, they're not. They're mentioned in other things. They're in some video. It's in a video game, I think. Pretty sure the K-wing is in one video game. I think it's in Rogue Squadron or something. Maybe not Rogue Squadron, but it's in a video game. I'm almost positive. Empire, the event that tortured Han. Yeah, I know. Like I'm talking about Han being tortured as a. It seems to. It happens multiple times because it happened in Empire, the Empire Strikes Back, the movie. So it didn't happen in. I think it happened in the Jedi Academy trilogy too, didn't it? I'm not positive, but it's a motif. It seems to be something that happens to Han a lot, and sort of the Yuzong Vong, sort of it happened in NJO, kind of. He didn't really get tortured, I guess, but his son got tortured. Jason got tortured. Um, so there's that, and then he gets hit. I know in one of the later books, doesn't he gets hit by a poison thing, and then he gets captured or something. Oh, the movie. I thought you meant Empire tortured him. Yeah, no, I was talking about the movie Empire. Sorry, Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. I've got an AI rig set up for doing the audiobook stuff, just have been focused on getting other services running on some other computers first. Blackfleet was the first I wanted to do. Yeah, somebody else did Blackfleet. I was about to do it. I was gonna do that, and then somebody, I think the archivist, somebody did it. Somebody did Blackfleet. So, but yeah, if you want to do it, go ahead. I try to do stuff that nobody else has done. I'm trying to fill in the gaps that people haven't done yet. But there's not much left, like Star Wars wise. So at some point I'm gonna have to start doing other stuff because there's not much left. The British audiobook has those sound effects creep me out. Yeah, I don't listen to audiobooks. I mean, I think I've told you guys on here, like I love making them for you guys and all that. I don't listen to them at all, period. Like even yeah, I listen to mine to make sure everything's all right, but I'm not an audiobook guy. I'm a book guy. Like I have to read it. But yeah, if I listen to audiobook, I've listened to audiobooks. I have listened to a few audiobooks, and I agree with you. I don't like sound effects. I just want the words. I don't like sound effects and like music and stuff. It distracts me way too much. Audiobooks in general are too distracting, like for me, but the sound effects and stuff are making it way worse. Like I totally cannot concentrate with the sound effects and stuff. Yeah, Lando's. Yeah, you're talking about in Blackfleet. I loved Anthony Harold audiobooks. My friends and I used to listen in the 90s in our cars on road trips. Hmm. I like it. It's just creepy to me. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, and it's out of place, kind of. Okay. You're saying they're creepy in a good way. Okay. I don't like it. I don't like again, not that I don't listen to audiobooks, but if I did, I would not want them with sound effects. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know. I'm weird. I am not an audiobook person at all though. Like listening to them. Making them I enjoy. I enjoy making them, but listening, no. Nope. Sound effects, no. Makes it scary. Okay. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get it. I understand why people like it. Yeah. Old radio shows. Yeah, I just like I've listened to part of what was it, Dark Empire. I listened to part of Dark Empire and I cannot like I was like 2 minute like 30 I don't know, not like a minute in, and I'm like, no, nope. Like it's just like people doing impressions of Han and Leia and like beep boop 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 boop. It's like it's just like no, sorry. I just no, I can't do it. But again, I'm not an audiobook. I'm not an audiobook guy. Sorry. Like listening to them. I know that seems like really hypocritical because that's what my whole channel is, but making them is fun. Listening to them, I do not do. We're talking about torture. It depends on how brutal it sounds. I think screaming and the torture machine noises is just enough for me. Oh, they actually had like the torture, like scream, like Han screaming in the Black Fleet. I might have to listen to that then. Like at least that part of it. Oh my gosh. See, that would just distract me. Like that would I couldn't like it'd be like listening to like a Stephen King novel, like or like a horror novel, and just like oh, like like when like Pennywise is like eating somebody or something, and oh, like I couldn't I wouldn't be able to take that seriously. I just can't. It's too silly. It's too like ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's just me. Again, personal preference. It's just me. I just don't. No, I just that's just really to me. Nope. But hey, there's people that are the complete opposite and are like when they sit like it's just words on a page. I'm just staring at I'm just staring at words on a page. Like it doesn't mean anything to me. Like I get it. Hey, I totally get it. But that's me. I have to sit and just and read it, and I just imagine it in my head. The screams and, like, whatever, it's a lot creepier in my head than it would be hearing an actor doing it. I would just picture the actor in a sound booth, like, because I guess part of it's because I watch behind the scenes stuff. I have this problem sometimes in movies and stuff, like, getting scared by movies and whatever, because I'm a kind of like, kind of behind the scenes nerd kinda guy. So, like, I'm just picturing a guy in a sound booth, like, with a microphone going, "Oh, oh, oh," like, I just can't. Anyway, I know I'm getting really specific here, but anyway. Teresa Pecora has screaming torture. Oh, man. See, no, that's even worse because that's like, it's the alien it's, what the heck were those guys' names? The aliens in that and, like, putting people's bodies into little droid things, like, I could not take that seriously. Right, do they voice the aliens in that too? The lizard guys in that? I can't remember their names right now, but the lizard guys in that, like, "Oh, we're going to put you in robot body," like, or like, I can't do it, man. I would just be laughing my head off, like, picturing some guy in a sound booth, like, trying to do a lizard man's voice. They kill a junior officer. Electrical sounds and screams for the integument. I don't read Stephen King. Yeah, I really don't either. I was just using that as an example for horror. Yeah, that okay. The true story has oh god. It's like it's tons of it. Like, oh man. No, I couldn't nope. Couldn't do it. Couldn't take it seriously. It's a good book. Like, I like reading the book. It's been a bit. The scream. Okay, yeah. Dinosaurs turning people into droids. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do they do the dinosaur voices too? Like yeah, it's driving me nuts. I can't remember their names right now. But the dinosaur aliens and that, like, do they have people doing the voices? Like, I can picture that. I can just picture like we all, oh yeah, we all, or like some like I don't know, some guy trying to. How would you even do that? Like, how do you sound like a dinosaur? Yeah, Shriek. Sorry, yeah, yeah, the Shriek. That's it, Shriek. Sorry, yeah, like somebody doing Shriek, like we turn you into a droid. We put your essence into a droid. Like, how would you even do that? Like, I just can't, man. I'm not dissing people that make audiobooks or whatever make obviously I'd be dissing myself. Like people that do voice acting for that stuff. I just man, fluties. Think of films. Phantom Menace is for the Neomoidians. Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. Well, that's different though. That's different because it's in front of you. Like you have an actor actually there. Like I can wrap my brain around that more. Like I can it's not the same thing because like in an audiobook, it's just somebody's voice. You have to imagine the person. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could make that argument about a book too because you have to imagine everything, but like my brain is just better at that, I guess for some reason. I don't have trouble like I can make it creepy in my head. You know what I'm saying? An actor that if the actor is not on the mark, like if they just can't if they don't get the voice right or something, it can sound really stupid. They sound like birds. Really? Hmm. Faux Japanese. Do they sound like birds or I was doing the kind of Japanese voice. Like I don't know, I wasn't really trying to, but yeah, R2's beeping like yeah, they just get annoying. I don't know that too. Like all the beeps and like yeah, I mean, I'm not dissing it. I'm not. I'm just I don't know. I just don't. I just it's more for the aliens. Like when people do and like that's an argument I've heard even by people that like audiobooks, like, if it's a male reader trying to do a female voice or a female reader doing a male voice, it usually sounds horrible. Like, that's another thing. It's funny, I'm picking apart audiobooks on my channel, but, like, man, like, ugh, that's the worst. That's the worst to me too. That's why I can't listen to them because it's like, when I have a guy when men, I feel like men, it's worse. Like when a guy tries to do a feminine voice, it sounds just like really silly, and I can't take it seriously. Yeah, the Sri Rock sound like birds. Okay, so they made them sound like birds. I guess that's better than like dinosaurs. Like, how would you even do a dinosaur? What is it? We don't even. I don't. I'm just. I don't know. Yeah, the Neimoidians. I get it. Yeah, like I get it. The Neimoidians, like it can be annoying. I get that. But like there's an actor there. There's somebody in front of me and I'm going, okay, that's the guy. That's him. Like I'm not picturing, I guess, like I said, the audio person, it's just a voice. I'm not seeing somebody in a suit, like an alien guy in a suit or whatever. Like that I can suspend my disbelief more for that than just somebody like, you know, just doing a voice. I don't know. I for some reason that's just different for me. Anthony Harold does a great Al Akbar voice, and Mark Thompson does tons of great voices, male and female. I can tell he's talking by his voice inflections. Yeah, some people can do it. Okay. Some actors can do it. Some can do it. Some can't. It's all the actor. It depends on how good the actor is. I agree with that. The book they sound like birds. That's why they're called fluties. Oh, okay. I don't remember that. I haven't read Truce and Bakura in like a decade or so, so I apologize. I don't know how would the lizard lady Jedi sound like. Yeah, yeah, Saba. Yeah, Saba I just pictured like a snake voice in my head because she kind of does like when she laughs she goes so I just kind of Jedi is Jedi. I just picture like a snake kind of like yes, Master Skywalker. Like just lots of hanging on the yeses like that one's pretty easy. That one will be easy. I think I prefer full acting for an AB. I imagine it's tough production wise, though. Yeah, that's fine. I get it. Some people like the sound effects. Some people like all the stuff, like music, sound effects. I get it. Totally get it. It's a lot more work. Yeah. Trust me, that's coming from me. And I don't even do sound effects or anything else of mine. It's a lot of work. Mark Thompson makes the barbell Jedi sound like a snake. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what she is. So, yeah, this one agrees. Yeah, I like Saba. I always enjoyed Saba. I have all the audiobooks. I'd love to share them with you. Oh, you guys are talking. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, gotta like Saba. I'm weird with like I don't know. I'm a purist when it comes to books. I'm a very purist. I want to have the book in my hand, preferably the original version of it in my hand, and I want to be sitting and reading it in a quiet room. I'm very anal when it comes to books. Very, very specific, very, very particular. Yep. Yeah, When Saved by the Kill Kenneth, yeah. Yeah, Saba, um, yeah, didn't Saba one of her kids died too in the NJO. That was sad. Pretty sure her like one or two, well, don't at least one of her kids die in the NJO. Saba had a pretty tough life. Yeah. And she's a Troy Denning creation. I know SJH photo. You're not big on Troy Denning, but she's a Troy Denning creation. So you can't hate everything. Not that you hate Troy Denning, but I know you said you're not big on Troy Denning. Yeah, I just don't time to read. Like I said, I drove 500 miles for work this weekend alone. I have a lot more time for audiobooks, but I get if you don't like it. Yeah, no, I get it. That's why I make it. I make it for people like you. which most I get it. Most people don't have time to like actually sit and read. I understand that. I just can't. If I couldn't sit and read, like if I didn't have time, and I just don't do it when I don't have time in my schedule to sit and read. I just don't do it. Like I can't audiobooks. I can't do audiobooks. I can't have somebody read to me. Like I can't. I have to sit and read it. So if I don't have time, and I just don't do it. Period. But that's fine. Hey, everybody, that's why my channel is what it is because of most people like audiobooks, which is perfectly fine. Saba's pretty cool, but I don't really like Denning shoving her everywhere, like giving her the Mara speech. Yeah, yeah, the Mara speech is a little strange. I'll give you that one. I never, for the most part though, I like most of her appearances. Most of the time, I like most of the stuff she's in. For the most part, yeah, her kids die, but I think more point scene was when she accidentally killed a bunch of from her race when a Vaughn cargo ship was carrying them. Yeah, yeah, that too. That was intense. I don't hate Troy Denning, just don't like how violent he writes. Yeah, I didn't mean you. I didn't mean. I corrected myself. I'm saying I know you're not the biggest fan of him. I have fond memories of my mom reading me as a kid. Yeah, like as a kid. Yeah. Oh yeah, my dad used to read me as a kid. I don't. That's not what I meant. I just meant like now. Obviously, like I'm not gonna like a novel. I'm not gonna have somebody read a novel to me. That's what I guess with audiobooks. Like that's why I can't sit and listen to an audiobook because I can't I just think of I can't focus on it. I don't know. That's just the way my brain's wired. But again, obviously I'm in the minority, so which is good. But yeah, I have the same thing with my dad. My dad used to read to me, so I can't stand and visualize while reading a book. I find comics a lot easier to read, plus pretty pictures. Oh yeah, totally. Again, I totally get it. I'm totally understand why people can't. It's just how your brain's wired. So yeah, I totally get it. And I like comics too. I love comics. Totally love comics. So I'm with you there on comics. I could just like I said, I can just picture things in my head, like especially if the writing is really well done, or if it clicks with me real well, I can picture scenes in my head real well. I don't even need that much description either. I can read like 'cause some of the stuff I read is not like even when I read like YA, it's not super descriptive. I can fill it in my head. So I have tons of comics, Silver and Bronze Age. Oh, you guys, okay. Comics do you have? I think you guys, I'm assuming you guys are talking to each other here, but you guys know me. You guys have seen most of my comics. So I used to be, I'll admit, I'm not, I'm more of a book guy now than a comic guy. I used to be probably more of a comic guy. I'm more of a book guy now, I think, than comics. Like if I'm gonna really sit down and read a lot, I'd rather read books. But I will read comics still. I just read Hellboy, The Crooked Man the other day. So I'll still read them occasionally, like once in a blue moon. But oh, I forgot Darth Angelus is finally up to the Battle of Salas Van, the End of the Empire movie is making. Oh yeah, yeah, that guy making that. Hidden, I haven't seen your comics. What do you have? Well, you've seen my Star Wars comics. Were you not here when I showed them off? I have tons more, but I'm pretty sure here. I'm not gonna go through them all, but I'll move the camera over to where the Star Wars comics are. I have a lot of action Superman comics from the 50s and 80s. Beyond Star Wars. Oh, I have tons of stuff. Um, I've sold a lot of them off though, to be honest. I used to have everything. I had Batman, Superman. I was a DC guy mostly, so I have mostly Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, like the Flash, most of that stuff. I had some Marvel, like Punisher, some Spider-Man. Um, I mean, I had tons of stuff, man. X-Men. I mean, I can go on and on. Well, most of the good stuff I've sold off by now, and I kept all my Star Wars stuff, obviously. But mainly DC. I'm a DC guy, so that's just off the top of my head. I hope someone adapts X-Wing novels. I'd love to have the battle being visualized. Oh yeah, you're talking about you're talking about movies for TV shows. They were gonna do a Disney was gonna do a Rogue Squadron movie that never came to be. So I'm sure it wouldn't have been anything like I I think I remember seeing things somewhere that Stackpole like I think somebody asked Stackpole and he was like it has nothing to do with my Rogue Squadron or the video game like it wasn't gonna have anything to do with the EU stuff. So it wouldn't have been even remotely similar. Yeah, X-Wing. Yeah, the X-Wing comics. X-Wing comics are good. I've not read them all. I need to read them. From the Baron Fell arc. Yeah, yeah. There's that. Yeah, that anime thing was really good. Yeah, yeah. That anime thing was awesome. I wish they make a full length thing of that. That is really that's unpacked tap potential. Like Star Wars, X-Wing, something like a cartoon, something can be awesome. Yeah. Did they do the Battle of Coruscant? Yeah, I think you guys are talking about two different things. There's a 3D one and a 2D one. The 3D one I think was a Battle of Coruscant, right? Yeah, yeah. Both of those are good. They're both good. Man. Anyway, I'll probably try to wrap this up soon. But yeah, I'll do another stream. I know this was kind of at a weird time. So Corn talks about you know what. Oh, when he oh yeah, Corn Horn being I think I know where you're going with that. Okay. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not gonna go much longer, I don't think. Ugh. Oh man. Yep. I don't know. I'll try to do I'd like to try to do something Halloween related for the next book and or stream because we only got 2 more weeks left, right, of October here. Well, yeah, we got three almost. We got time. But if anything else anybody wants to ask real quick before I sign off here. Don't celebrate Halloween. Yeah, I know you told me. Yeah. I don't mean I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it, but anyway, I will probably oh yeah, Truce Bakura. Yeah, there's more than one, I think. There's at least one. There's at least one or two on here on YouTube. So I try to do stuff nobody's done. So but yeah, I don't have a problem plugging other Star Wars YouTubers. Hmm. Anybody else ask anything you want to ask me? Go ahead. Now's the time. because I'm probably going to be signing off here soon. Oh yeah, the Shatnerverse. Yeah, I I think one of them's on here. I think. I think the one of I'm pretty sure one of them's on here. The Return, maybe. One of them's on here. I thought about doing the other one, because I think they're abridged. I don't think those have unabridged audiobooks. So that's something I've been wanting to do. So I'm gonna do Star Trek stuff. Don't worry. There's tons of other things I want to do other than Star Wars. SJ Photo. Don't worry. I know you're a big Trekkie, so and I'm a pretty big Trekkie, so I'll do Star Trek stuff. Don't worry. Yeah, yeah, they're abridged. That's what I said. They're abridged. So I definitely want to do those at some point. So yeah, I like Shatner's voice too. I agree. But if it's abridged, that's the problem. It's not the whole book. I wish it wasn't. But hey, it's an opportunity there. I can do. So unless there's anything else, I might leave it at this. I might go till midnight. I might go till midnight if there's somebody else who wants to talk or say something or has a question. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later, SJ. Age photo. May the force be with you. But okay, so um yeah, I don't know. Anybody have anything like Halloween related or horror related they want to talk about? I saw a good movie the other day, called Haunt. Pretty good slasher. I recommend it. Anybody that wants a good like kind of slashery kind of like haunted house like horror like pretty like kind of extreme haunted house, but little gory, but not too bad. Anybody interested in that? I recommend it. Haunt from 2019. Right. Yeah, I guess I'll end it here because everybody's signing off here. I know this was late. I know this was a Sunday. I'll do another one at some point soon here. Don't worry, this month. So, yep, I will. Good night to you, Christopher. So, I guess I will probably leave it at that. If anybody else, unless somebody else has something to say here, real quick. All right, I guess I'll leave it at that. So, good night to all, and may the force be with you all, always.